Chapter 1. Congratulations to the host for becoming the store manager. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. The Huangyuan Empire is surrounded by towering clouds and mist. This cloud and mist refers to the city of Cloud and Mist, which is named after its proximity to the cloud forest. This cloud forest is rich in low-level monsters, which attracts a large number of mercenaries to gather here. Within the Wasteland Empire, a large number of academies will also set up training grounds for new and old students in this cloud forest. The large flow of people has contributed to the prosperity of Yunwu City's materials and the development of commerce, culture, and military force, and in this prosperous Yunwu City, there is a small shop in the corner of a deserted street. The shop owner was lying on the window frame of his shop, staring at the empty street with boredom. Ding, the store manager's system has been updated. Does the host enable the system? An emotionless electronic synthesized sound suddenly appeared in Qi Li's mind. Qi Lu was stunned for a moment, and then couldn't help but burst into tears. I waited hard for a month and finally got the standard gold finger of Chuanzhong. In Qi Li's mind, there was already a scene of carrying the system, shaking the tiger's body, and having all the nations come to court, hugging him from left to right, and reaching the pinnacle of life. But what is this store manager system? Although Qi Lu was confused, he still said silently in his heart, "Turn on." The store manager system has obtained the opening instruction and now issues the opening task. Start the mission. The first store, task content, own a store of your own. As a great store manager, how can you not have a store of your own? Mission reward, store manager system is activated. Mission time limit, none. Qi Lu was stunned. Why, doesn't my current store count? System, you call this a kennel, not a store. The shocked Qi Lu stood up from the window frame, looked at the messy shop, and felt that it was time to clean it up. Qi Lu had already disposed of the herbs left behind at a low price. The remaining wooden shelves and counters were also a bit worn out. Qi Lu thought about it and kept a few that were still usable, but simply threw away the others. After all the hard work, it was already dark. The inside of the store has also become brand new, but it is a bit empty. Qi Lu rubbed his sore waist and called the system in his mind. How about it, now this is my shop. System, barely qualified. The activation task is completed, and the store manager system is officially launched. Immediately, a white light appeared in the store, scanning the entire store completely. The scan is completed, the store renovation is completed, the first store is allowed to be opened, and the defense system has been mounted. Under Qi Li's surprised eyes, all the facilities in the store were replaced. The original furniture inside was swept away, and a square counter faced the door, blocking the partitioned small room behind it. The walls on both sides were painted as white as new, and the side facing the street had no windows and was replaced with a glass wall. Going further back, the partitioned small room was systematically transformed into a warehouse, and there was a soft little bed next to the warehouse. System, the first store has been successfully opened. Please host to extract the goods for sale. Then, before Qi Lu could react, he heard a bang and a circular turntable landed next to Qi Lu. Qi Lu almost jumped up in fright. Can you please be mentally prepared? Qi Lu looked at the turntable with a pale face. Spiritual beasts, artifacts, fairy beasts, god-level combat skills. Qi Li's eyes glowed green when he saw these good things. Chapter 2. Purchase channels. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. System, please host turn the turntable. Okay. Qi Lu boasted that he had even caught up with time travel, so his luck was not bad. Shake it hard, and the turntable immediately spins crazily. Fairy beast, fairy beast, fairy beast. Qi Lu shouted crazily in his heart, but as the turntable became slower and slower, the pointer slowly crossed over the fairy beast, pill. Although there are no immortal beasts, the elixirs are also good. Qi Lu comforted himself, and then heard a sentence that almost made him swear. System, the elixir purchase channel has been opened. The host store manager has insufficient level. The ordinary elixir egg pool has been opened. System, I think I need an explanation. Qi Lu roared in his mind with a dark face. The system didn't reply immediately, it just brought up a panel. Host, Qi Lu, store manager level. Level 1. Number of stores owned, 1. Purchase channel, ordinary elixir egg pool, evaluation, novice store manager. there is really no lower title for a store manager who barely owns a store. System, host, please note that the store manager level will determine the level of the purchase channel. Then how do you improve the store manager level? Chilo asked curiously, restraining himself from complaining about the words in the evaluation system. When the purchase quantity and sales volume meet the upgrade conditions, the upgrade task will be automatically started. Once the task is completed, the store manager level will be upgraded. Chilo smacked his lips twice and said, then help me open the ordinary elixir egg pool. In an instant, something like an altar appeared in Chi Li's mind, with the pills that could be extracted from the egg pool and their respective probabilities written on it. However, the most intolerable thing is that sentence, every 10 draws, a high-quality elixir will be produced. Which rubbish domestic mobile games egg pool system is this? Chilo suppressed his anger and continued to look down. 1 gold coin draws the egg pool once. System, the purchase channel you mentioned, doesn't mean this, right? Chilo couldn't believe it. System, if the host wants to recharge, he only needs to recite the recharge amount silently in his mind, and the system will automatically charge the corresponding fee. This is really a garbage mobile game turned into a masterpiece. Chilo touched his pocket and found the last 5 gold coins in it. That was Chi Li's last remaining savings. Chile gritted his teeth. System, recharge me 5 gold coins. System, the fee has been charged. The corresponding lottery button also appears below the egg pool. When Chilo touched his pocket, the 5 gold coins had disappeared. Resolutely pressed the 5 draws button. Restoration pill. Restoration pill. Restoration pill. Healing pill. Healing pill, 5 ordinary level pills. Rejuvenation pill, after taking it, a small amount of mana will be quickly restored, with no usage restrictions. Healing pill, after taking it, a small amount of health will be restored quickly, with no usage restrictions. Isn't this the lowest level red bottle and blue bottle in the game? System, is it really okay to eat the extracted elixir? Chilo asked seriously. System, the products produced by the system must be high-quality products. Just shouting slogans is of no use. Chilo looked at the 5 small porcelain bottles that had appeared in the warehouse and knew that he had to believe them even if he didn't believe them. Chilo, resigned to his fate, could only place 5 small porcelain bottles on the shelves in the store, and then wait for customers to come. It's the 3rd day and there's no one there. Chilo looked back at the prices on the shelves. 1 pill, 10 spiritual crystals. What is a spiritual crystal? That was a currency even rarer than gold coins, and it was only produced in spiritual crystal mines. 1 spiritual crystal is equivalent to 100 gold coins, and no one is willing to exchange it, and 1 gold coin can keep a family of 3 eating and drinking well for a month. Chapter 3 Black Shop. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. Well. Chilo sighed. It costs money to extract the goods, and the system also charges a commission for the goods sold. This day is really unbearable. Fortunately, this period is a great time for the college to recruit students. The flow of people in Yunwu City is extremely large. Although the Wanxian grocery store is located in a remote location, it is not impossible to find. Just when Chilo was sighing, a group of 5 people suddenly opened the store door and walked in. Chi Li's eyes suddenly lit up. He quickly stood up and sat upright. Is the boss here? Among the 5, a young man wearing exquisite leather armor who seemed to be the leader asked aloud. That's me. Chilo said calmly. Although he was excited, his face was expressionless. Are you really running a store? This store is empty. What do you sell? The young man looked around the store and asked aloud. Chilo pointed to one of the shelves and said, elixirs. Elixir? The young man repeated doubtfully and looked in the direction Chilo pointed. In fact, in this world, there is no such thing as elixir. What they use are various potions prepared by alchemy. This is one of the reasons why Chilo is worried that the elixir will not be sold. Boss, what is the use of this strange thing? The young man asked. The red bottle is used to heal injuries, and the blue bottle is used to restore fighting spirit and magic power. Chilo explained. The young man's eyes lit up and he said, there is such a good thing, how can I sell this elixir? That the young man's name is Kuming Lang. The 5 of them are all freshmen of Brilliant Academy and are about to enter the Cloud Forest to participate in the freshman trial. I heard from the old students in the college that the freshman trial is full of dangers, and having a few extra bottles of healing potion would be of great help. It's just that the quantity of this alchemy potion is scarce, so they didn't get a few bottles, and they were only prepared to deal with emergencies. There's a price tag below. Chi Lo said lightly. Kuminglang looked down, then rubbed his eyes and shouted, 10 spiritual crystals. Why don't you go and grab them? I can buy a lot of healing herbs from the herbal shop next to me with 1 spiritual crystal. Even the alchemy potions are not as expensive as yours. Chi Lo replied expressionlessly, don't compare my pills with those rubbish. Bah! Black shop. Kuminglang immediately gave up the idea of buying the elixir, cursed, and walked out of the store without looking back. TSK. Although Chi Lo felt some toothache, he could only endure it. Who made this cheating system achieve 99% success in one draw? Chi Lo sold 10 spiritual crystals, but what he got was only 10 gold coins. Maybe today is Chi Li's lucky day. After Kuminglang and his party left, another man and a woman walked into the store. These 2 people were well dressed, and one could tell at a glance that they were the children of wealthy families. Excuse me, do you 2 need anything? Chi Lo sat behind the counter and asked in a calm voice. Boss, what exactly do you sell in your store? Why is it so empty? The girl among the 2 asked in confusion. She was not the first person to ask. Chi Lo pointed to the shelf as usual. After the 2 of them looked over, they said, the healing pill in the red bottle is used to heal injuries, and the rejuvenating pill in the blue bottle is used to restore fighting spirit and magic power. There is such a good thing, that this kind of elixir that can heal injuries or restore fighting spirit and magic power is definitely a very important strategic material in the new life trial. Chapter for the first business. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. How do you sell this elixir? The girl asked the key question. There is a price tag below. Chi Lo replied, thought for a while, and then said, no bargaining. What? The boy shouted immediately, 10 spiritual crystals. What kind of black shop are you running? Even a bottle of alchemy potion for healing is only 2 or 3 spiritual crystals. You. The boy said, wanting to step forward and teach Chi Lo, the evil boss, a lesson. Ing Feng, wait. The girl stretched out her hand to stop the boy, then he looked at Chi Lo with burning eyes and said seriously, boss, it's not that we can't afford the price, but are you sure your elixir is worth the price? Sister, do you really want to buy something from this black shop? Ing Feng asked anxiously from the side. Chi Lo still replied expressionlessly, children are innocent. Okay, just to tell you this, I want a rejuvenation pill and a healing pill. The girl Ing Shui took out 20 spiritual crystals and slapped them on the counter. Thank you for your patronage. Chi Lo was extremely happy, but his hand movements were not chaotic at all, and he slowly put the spiritual crystal into the counter. Sister. Shut up. Ing Shui said forcefully. After taking down 2 small porcelain bottles from the shelf, Ing Shui said again, boss, if these 2 pills are not worth the price you said, you are welcome to come and smash the shop at any time. Chi Lo sat behind the counter, folded his hands and spoke slowly. Okay, we from the Ing family will keep our word. Ing Shui snorted and left the store with Ing Feng, who was still chattering beside her. Call. Chi Lo let out a long breath. I finally completed my first sale, and finally no longer had to worry about starving to death. Chi Lo touched his stomach, which had been hungry for a long time, and pulled out a small box from under the counter. The 20 spiritual crystals just put in now only have 20 gold coins left. I want money. Chi Lo cursed in his heart. System, please do not insult the system at will. Otherwise, the system has the right to deduct the host's rewards. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Chi Lo lowered his head very skillfully. System, you can teach me. Congratulations to the host for completing the first transaction. The system will reward you with a lottery for small commodities. Do you want to draw now? Yes, Chi Lo answered decisively. As soon as he finished speaking, a square box appeared on the counter with a small round opening on the top. System, asked the host to draw a lottery. Chilo looked at the square box and was stunned for a long time before he came to his senses. It's amazing, my system. Chilo said, not sure whether it was a compliment or a joke, and put his hand into the square box. After touching for a long time, I took out a small round ball. After opening it from the middle, I took out the note inside the small ball. Maidong vitamin functional drink, 10 bottles. My move. Chilo looked at the note in his hand in a daze. On the other side, the two siblings Ing Shuiying and Ing Feng, who had bought 2 pills, had entered the cloud forest at this time. The trial for new students in Brilliant Academy is very simple. As long as you can kill 10 monsters above level 10, you have completed the task. In this world, although there are many fighting professions, but all power levels are the same. It is divided into brave, professional, grandmaster, hero, strong, king, and emperor, and each level is divided into 20 levels. Chapter 5 Dark Cloud Spotted Tiger. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. In other words, after level 20, after completing the Brave trial and obtaining the Brave mark, you can be considered a Brave level and be eligible to continue upgrading. Otherwise, you will always be stuck at level 20, unable to make any progress, and so on, including the level of Warcraft. It is this grading method. A 10th level monster is not yet a Brave level monster. For the Ying family siblings who are already at level 15, it is not a difficult task to complete. The two siblings quickly killed 13 level 10 sharp-toothed wolves and removed 13 wolf teeth. This is proof that they accomplished their mission, but just as the two were about to walk into the forest again, they were ready to continue their efforts to complete their tasks. A loud roar came from deep in the forest. Roar. This is the roar of the dark cloud-spotted tiger. Ing Shui immediately recognized what kind of monster this roar came from. The dark cloud-spotted tiger is an extremely ferocious monster in the cloud forest. As long as it is an adult dark cloud-spotted tiger, it is at least level 30 or above. This kind of monster is definitely not something that people like them who have not yet obtained the mark of bravery can handle. Sure enough, several figures jumped out from the depths of the cloud forest. In front were 4 people running away like crazy. Following behind was a tiger whose fur was as black as a cloud. Kuming Lang. Ing Shui. That the 5 fleeing people looked at each other with the Ying family siblings and recognized each other instantly. Kuming Lang and Ing Shui actually don't deal with each other, but at this critical moment, Kuming Lang didn't care about his face and shouted loudly, "The dark cloud-spotted tiger behind is not yet an adult. It is only level 21. If you and I work together, we will definitely kill it." Ing Shui took a closer look and found that the tiger chasing behind had a lot of wounds on its body. But level 22 is a brave level monster after all. "Sister, let's leave quickly," Ing Feng advised tremblingly from the side. "No, if we can kill a brave level monster, we will definitely be able to enter the elite class." Ing Shui frowned and suddenly raised the staff in her hand. Tangled with vines, as the magic power circulated, several vines as thick as a thumb suddenly grew out of the ground and wrapped around the dark cloud-spotted tiger. Being entangled by Ing Shui, Wuyun-spotted tiger was immediately forced to stop. Kuming Lang and others also stopped, breathing heavily. The exquisite leather armor on his body has now turned into a beggar's outfit and is stained with blood. The other 3 were all in worse condition than Kuming Lang. "Take out the healing potion. As long as we kill this dark cloud-spotted tiger, there is no need to hunt other monsters." Kuming Lang took out a potion from his arms as he spoke. "Pull out the stopper and pour it into your mouth." The other 3 people each took out a healing potion and drank it. The medicine took effect in the bodies of the 4 people, helping them speed up their recovery from injuries, but it is impossible to restore combat strength in a short period of time. "Ing Feng, go and entangle it. I will find an opportunity to kill it later." Ing Shui waved her staff while maintaining the cane, which continued to grow and entangle the dark cloud-spotted tiger. Golden armor, sharp blade. Point 2 magic spells, 1 for defense and 1 for attack, fell on Ing Feng. Ing Feng held up the knight's sword in his hand, fighting energy surged in his body, and faced the black cloud-spotted tiger. Ing Shui was also behind, raising her staff with both hands and looking at the dark cloud-spotted tiger with a solemn expression. Chapter 6 The Power of Pills. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. The fire elements gathered in front of Ing Shui. This news alarmed Kuminglang, who was trying his best to heal his injuries. You want to use explosive fireballs? Stupid woman. Your current magic power is simply not enough. Kuminglang opened his eyes and almost died of fright. Exploding fireball is a level 20 warrior level magic. It is indeed the best choice to use it to kill the current dark cloud spotted tiger, but with Ing Shui's current magic power capacity, it is simply impossible to condense it. Once the magic fails and Ing Shui loses her magic power, none of the 6 of them can escape. Damn it, I didn't bring any magic potion this time either. Kuminglang hit his thigh again. As a warrior, he would naturally not bring this kind of potion used by magicians. What's more, no matter how good the magic potion is, there is no way to solve this situation, because in a combat state, the potion's potency cannot be exerted at all. Otherwise, Kuminglang wouldn't have waited until now to use the healing potion. Under the entanglement of the vines, the dark cloud spotted tiger's speed was much slower, and its movements were restricted everywhere, but it is impossible for a hero level monster to be restrained by magic of this level. Roar, letting foam delayed it for only a few minutes, and the dark cloud spotted tiger suddenly let out a roar. The vines wrapped around its body broke with a sound, and the huge tiger claws struck Ing Feng's chest like a ray of black light. Puff, Ing Feng flew out and hit the ground. That's it again, you stupid woman will kill us. When Kuminglang saw this scene, he jumped up from the ground in fright. The other 3 people didn't care about healing their injuries and were ready to escape. Being slapped by the dark cloud spotted tiger like this will make him crippled even if he doesn't die, so what's the point of fighting power? At this time, the magic power in Ing Shui's body was approaching exhaustion, but the condensation of the exploding fireball was less than half. I hope it's really worth the price. At this time, Ing Feng seemed to have remembered something. Lying on the ground, he tremblingly took out a small porcelain bottle from his arms. Kuminglang always felt a little familiar. When the healing pill enters the mouth, it immediately turns into a soft energy. For just a moment, Ing Feng's near-death injuries seemed as if they had never appeared before. Ing Feng jumped up from the ground. If it hadn't been for the blood that spurted out, no one would have believed that such a lively person looked like he was about to die just now. What is this? Kuminglang's eyes nearly popped out. What did he just eat? Where did those injuries go? Wait, I think I've seen that little porcelain bottle before. Before Kuminglang could finish thinking, Ing Shui also took out a small porcelain bottle from her arms. After entering the chi-returning pill entrance, the magic power in Ing Shui's body returned to its peak state in an instant, and it didn't interrupt the concentration of magic at all. What is this? Kuminglang felt like he was going crazy. Why couldn't he understand the things that appeared in front of him? The dark cloud-spotted tiger broke free from the entanglement of the vines and roared. He rushed straight towards Ing Shui. Ing Feng, who had fully recovered, picked up the knight's sword in his hand, gathered his fighting spirit, and fought against the black cloud-spotted tiger. With just such a small delay, the magic in Ing Shui's hands has taken shape. Exploding fireball. In an instant, a terrifying fireball hit the dark cloud-spotted tiger hard. Boom. With a loud bang, the dark cloud-spotted tiger flew out like a rag and hit the ground. Chapter 7 Maidong Vitamin Functional Drink. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. Ing Feng immediately flew forward and used his knight's sword to dig out the magic core in dark cloud-spotted tiger's brain. A brave level magic core is also the minimum standard for Warcraft to condense a magic core. Kuminglang and others looked at Ing Feng's flowing movements and were stunned for a moment, forgetting to speak. Then he suddenly remembered the 2 small porcelain bottles. It's that grocery store, Kuminglang yelled and jumped up from the ground. He beat his chest and feet for a while, regretting his mistake. Everything the boss said was true. The healing potions they used were really just a bunch of rubbish compared to those pills. If I had been more willing to buy those pills, why would I have ended up like this? At this time, the Ing family siblings also put away the magic core and came to Kuminglang and others. Thank you so much, Master Ku, for your kindness. I will leave the body of Wuyun spotted tiger to you. Ing Shui said in a pretentious manner. Yes, if you ask me, my sister is too kind. Ing Feng wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and agreed. Kuminglang was so depressed that he almost spit out a mouthful of old blood. Since our mission is completed, let's say goodbye. Ing Shui said politely and left with Ing Feng. They didn't deal with it in the first place, and they were even less polite at this time. Although Kuminglang had injured the black cloud-spotted tiger before, if it weren't for the Ing family siblings, they would all have died in the tiger's mouth. Therefore, it is natural that the magic core belongs to Shui and the others. I'm such a fool. Kuminglang was so angry that he slapped himself in the face. Qilo doesn't know what happened in the cloud forest. He is currently in the warehouse, looking at the small commodities sent to him by the system in a daze. The aqua blue textured bottle and the sky blue stylish plastic packaging are exactly what Qilo imagined. My moves. This is a pirated product produced by some inferior merchant. Can you write the trademark correctly before shipping it to me? Qilo resisted the urge to vomit blood and picked up a bottle of Maidong vitamin functional drink. After drinking, it will completely restore the dringer's strength and permanently improve the dringer's level. The degree of improvement depends on the dringer's strength. There are no restrictions on use. Note, the effect of increasing strength will only occur once. Rare level small items. It is actually a rare product. Qilo was slightly shocked. Qilo is still very clear about the classification of this product: common, fine, rare, treasure, epic, legend. As for whether there are higher-end products, Qilo doesn't know. What a good thing. Qilo said with emotion. Although in the store, the system says that the defense system has been mounted, one's own strength is always the most important. Thinking of this, Qilo immediately opened a bottle of Maidong and poured it into his mouth. A whiff of wheat flavor immediately emerged from your mouth, and the lingering sound lingered for a long time. Is that what Maidong means? Qilo was so angry that he almost dropped the bottle, but soon, a violent force surged up from Qi Li's stomach and rushed into Qi Li's body. Qilo spurted out a mouthful of blood on the spot. The blood was black and shiny, filled with impurities from Qi Li's body. 1 level, 2 levels, level 5, level 6, grade 10. It wasn't until level 16 that the power brought by the wheat movement in Qi Li's body gradually calmed down, then slowly integrated into Qi Li's body. Chapter 8 Restocking. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. A mouthful of Maidong has such a miraculous effect. It took Qilo a long time to get up from the ground. Feeling the power in his body, he decisively covered the remaining Maidong. In this world, although there are many fighting professions, the power used is actually fighting spirit and magic power. That is the difference between warriors and mages. It's just that many other combat professions have been derived from warriors and mages. But the energy flowing in Qi Li's body is more like a combination of fighting spirit and magic power, taking into account the advantages of both and discarding the disadvantages of both. It's only when you have strength that you feel at ease. Qilo clenched his fists and felt the strength in his body in detail. He is much stronger than before when he was just an ordinary person. System, the effect of this wheat movement is more magical than I imagined. How should I price it? System, this product is a reward. The host can set its own price. The system does not participate in the sharing. There is such a good thing. Qilo suddenly became happy, watching the wheat in his hand move, as if he saw a money tree, but when he took a look at the bottle that was drunk in his hand, he suddenly felt sad. No, the bottle you drank must be found on other products. Qilo immediately made a decision. This Maidong is priced at 1,000 spiritual crystals per bottle. Ignoring the dringer's level, it completely restores the dringer's power. For this alone, 1,000 spirit crystals are definitely not expensive. It can even be said to be a blood-vomiting price. System, recharge me, I want to purchase goods. Although Qilo only has 20 gold coins in his hand now, as long as Maidong sells 1 bottle, he will make a fortune. Charge all 20 gold coins in. System, the fee has been charged. Qilo didn't even look at the gold coins in the box, they must have disappeared. 24 draws in a row. Restoring pill, Zhao pill, intermittent pill, healing pill, little wind speed pill, little Yongli pill, little Lingji pill. This time in the lottery, several types of elixirs appeared that had never appeared before. Zhao Dan. After taking it, a small amount of strength will be increased in a short period of time, with no restrictions on use. Ordinary level elixir, Xiao Feng Su Dan, after taking it, a small amount of speed will be increased in a short period of time. There is no restriction on use. Ordinary level elixir, Xiao Lingji pill, after taking it, a small amount of magic power will be increased in a short period of time, with no restrictions on use. Ordinary level elixir, intermittent pill, after taking it, it will restore a small amount of health and heal wounds to a certain extent. There is no restriction on use. Excellent grade elixir, read the introduction of the elixir carefully, as expected by Qi Lu, it was another variation of strength potion, agility potion, and magic power potion. However, this intermittent pill gave Qi Lu a surprise. System, please explain. Aren't the health points and wounds the same? System, host, your IQ is simply worrying. The system routinely insulted Qi Lu before starting to explain. Vital points refer to vitality, while wounds refer to physical damage. After saying this, Qi Lu understood immediately. To put it bluntly, wounds are in a state of continuous blood loss. Simply replenishing health can only restore the situation without wounds. To put it simply, if a person's hand is cut off, the healing pill can only restore the broken wound, the intermittent pill can reconnect a broken hand. Wow, that's amazing. Qi Li's eyes shone. No wonder this intermittent pill was ranked as an excellent pill. It was really unusual. Chapter 9 We want all the elixirs. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. However, Qi Lu has only drawn 2, including the 3 bottles on the front shelf. There are now a total of 23 small porcelain bottles on display in the store, and every time Qi Lu puts a small porcelain bottle on the shelf, the corresponding price will be displayed. The 3 newly drawn ordinary level elixirs are priced at 10 spiritual crystals. As for the high-quality intermittent pill, the price is directly listed. 80 spiritual crystals. Qi Lu thought for a while, took 3 more bottles of Maidong, and put them on the counter, ready to sell them at any time. Once there are more products, the small shop finally looks like a shop. However, after that, although people would come in occasionally, when they saw the price, they would curse the black shop and walk out quickly. It seems like if you take a step slower, you will be cheated. The Ying family siblings were actually the only guests paying money. System, your price is really not good. Qi Lu lay on the counter, bargaining with the system in his mind. System, it's worth the money, and the host doesn't need to say anything. Qi Lu was so angry that his tooth hurt, although he also knew that his elixir was really worth the price, but those guests don't know. That's all. Qi Lu held the steamed bun in his mouth, looked at the time, and then closed the store door. As a good store manager, you must have regular business hours. The next morning, Qi Lu grabbed his messy hair and opened the store door. Then I went to the nearby breakfast shop and bought 2 steamed buns to satisfy my hunger. There was no other way. All the money he had was used to buy goods. Qi Lu was still a pauper now. Boss, it turns out you are here. Qi Lu stuffed steamed buns into his mouth and walked into the store. He saw a man and a woman standing at the door of his store, saying hello to him. They are the Ying family siblings. You guys came quite early. Qi Lu bit the steamed bun and opened the store door. Boss, is your store door engraved with a magic circle? Why can't we push it open? Ying Feng saw this scene and immediately asked. He and Ying Shui were in front and wanted to go into the store first, but no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't push the door open. Originally they thought Qi Lu had locked the store door, but now they saw that it was not locked at all. Probably. Qi Lu answered vaguely while chewing the steamed buns. In fact, this is a defense system installed by the system for the store. When Qi Lu is not in the store, no one, no matter how powerful, can open the store door. Sure enough, sister, I'll just say my guess is right. Ying Feng said proudly to Ying Shui, and then looked at Qi Lu. Boss, I knew your elixir was a good thing. You are really a child. Of course. Qi Lu responded calmly, but I was thinking in my heart, you wanted to demolish my store yesterday. So, we are going to buy some more elixirs today. Boss, we want all the elixirs in your store. Ying Feng said his purpose. In his opinion, the production of such a precious elixir must be extremely rare. Otherwise, with so many shelves in this store, there wouldn't be only 5 pills on them. Are you sure? Qi Lu looked at Ing Shui seriously. He knew that among the two, the one who could make the decision was the sister. Boss, look at me, I can still afford 30 spiritual crystals. Ing Feng said dissatisfied. Ing Shui also nodded slightly to express her acquiescence. Okay then, let's all come into the store. Qi Lu shrugged. Chapter 10 No Bargaining. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. The Ing siblings immediately walked into the store and walked to the shelves. Wow, boss, why are there so many pills all at once? Ing Feng hadn't noticed before outside the store, then when he thought of what he said outside the store before, Ing Feng's face turned red. Even if he is the heir of a big family, he will not take so many spiritual crystals with him when he goes out. A rough calculation shows that all the elixirs are worth at least several hundred spiritual crystals. There seem to be several new types of these elixirs. I wonder what their effects are. Ing Shuicheng asked Qi Lu. Qi Litsai sat back behind the counter. After hearing Ing Shui's words, he simply answered her question. After listening to Qi Li's words, Ing Shui's eyes sparkled even more. These elixirs are all good things, especially the intermittent pill, which can actually reconnect severed limbs. You know, unless you are a priest who has acquired this skill, there is almost no way to restore the ability of a broken limb. However, it is extremely difficult to obtain the core of a skill, and it is even more difficult to obtain the skill of regenerating a severed limb. After trying the elixirs in Qila's store, Ing Shui would not doubt the efficacy of these elixirs. However, this price is indeed a bit expensive. Boss, this intermittent pill. 80 spiritual crystals, no bargaining on price. Qi Lu said expressionlessly. As soon as he heard the change in Ing Shui's tone, he knew that she would definitely want to bargain with him. I have a small business. If I continue to bargain, what else will I eat? Boss, you see we are so familiar with each other. Ing Shui gritted her teeth and continued to act coquettishly. There is absolutely nothing wrong with having one of the intermittent pills on hand. Even if you don't need it, it is very suitable to give it to your elder brother who is fighting abroad all year round. I remember, someone wanted to buy all the elixirs in my store just now. Qi Lu seemed to be talking to himself. Ing Shui's silver teeth were almost broken. She really wanted to hit this guy in the face with a big fireball, but the elixirs in this store are truly unique. After beating the boss to death, there is no more. Ing Feng, take out that magic core. Sister, we worked hard to get that, and it is a task item for the freshman trial. Ing Feng was quite reluctant to give up. It doesn't matter. Only when you give up can you gain something. Let's just go hunt the monsters again. Ing Shui glared at Qi Lu with hatred. Okay then. Boss, this is the hero-level magic core we hunted. Please give us a price. Ing Shui grabbed the black cloud-spotted tiger's magic core with one hand and handed it to Qi Lu. System, should we accept this kind of thing? Qi Lu stared at the magic core and asked in his heart. He didn't want to incur a huge debt to the system by collecting things indiscriminately. System, analyzing. System, analysis results show that this item belongs to a higher-level system currency and can be collected. Because the store manager level is too low, there is a loss in currency conversion. System, recommended recycling price, 100 spirit crystals. A higher-level system currency. Qi Lu never expected that the system would accidentally reveal such important information. It seems that after arriving, I am afraid that I will not be able to buy more high-end products just for spiritual crystals. Boss. Well, this thing, 100 spiritual crystals. Qi Lu came back to his senses and said slowly. 100 spiritual crystals. Boss, the market price of a brave level magic core is 120 spiritual crystals. But you only offer 100 spiritual crystals, and you still say that you are not a black shop. Ing Feng immediately shouted.